You know that feeling, right? That little sting you get every time you fill up your tank? Well, today we're going to dig into a pattern that's become almost predictable. When gas prices shoot up, so does our curiosity about electric cars. But the real question is, does all that searching and dreaming actually lead to a purchase? Let's get into it.
I mean, it's a huge question, isn't it? As you're standing there watching those numbers just climb and climb, does your mind immediately start thinking about alternatives? That daily frustration, it's a really powerful trigger, and it can influence one of the biggest purchases we ever make.
So the recent national average here in the US hit about $3.58 per gallon. But honestly, the key thing here isn't just the price itself, it's the speed. That's a jump of over 50 cents in just 1 month. That's not a gradual increase, that's a genuine shock to the system.
So, what's going on here? Well, this latest spike is directly tied to geopolitical tensions, especially involving Iran and how that affects the global flow of oil. This kind of external event creates that pain at the pump we all feel, and that pain becomes the trigger that starts changing how we think about the cars we drive.
You know, the psychological effect is pretty much instant. That financial pinch immediately sparks curiosity. We start asking ourselves, is there a better way to do this? And that one simple question leads millions of us to the exact same place, the internet.
And this curiosity, it builds into this kind of collective dream of finding an alternative. This isn't just a vague feeling either. It's a trend we can actually measure. People start searching, and the data tells us a really interesting story about what they're looking for.
Okay, so let's look at the baseline. Think of this as the before picture. According to some great data from Edmunds, back in late February, before the worst of the price hikes, about 20.7% of all searches for vehicles were for electrified options. And that includes everything: hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and full EVs. A pretty solid number for sure, but just watch what happens next.
By just the first week of March, that number jumped to 22.4%. Now here's the crucial detail, the real story. Most of that growth, that jump, came from people searching for fully electric vehicles. The pain at the pump didn't just nudge people to consider a slightly more efficient gas car, it pushed them to look for a way to get off gas completely.
And this isn't a one-off thing, not at all. We saw an even bigger spike back in 2022. During the Russia-Ukraine conflict, interest in EVs shot up from 17.5% to over 25% in about a month. It shows a clear, predictable pattern. When world events make gas expensive, people start dreaming about plugging in their car instead.
But you might be wondering, is this all just online window shopping? Is it just daydreaming? Or is there a real, provable economic principle at work here? Well, let's shift away from search trends and look at the hard academic proof that connects this dream to economic reality.
Okay, to really get this, we only need one simple concept. Don't let the fancy name price elasticity throw you. All it's really asking is, if the price of gasoline goes up by a certain amount, how much more do people buy electric cars? It's just a way to put a real number on that cause and effect relationship.
So, a study of 4 Nordic countries found something fascinating. For every 1% increase in the price of gasoline, EV sales went up by 0.85%. Pretty direct, right? But here's the kicker. When electricity prices changed, the impact was basically zero, statistically insignificant. This shows that we are way more motivated by the immediate sharp pain of high gas prices than we are scared off by the future cost of electricity.
The researchers themselves spell it out pretty clearly. They're saying, look, this isn't just a random observation, it's a policy tool. You can actually use gas prices, like through taxes, as a lever to speed up the switch to EVs. The connection is proven, and it's powerful.
So let's recap. We have a trigger, a dream, and we even have the academic proof. The interest is absolutely real. It's predictable. Which brings us to the big, obvious question. Why isn't everybody driving an EV then? Well, this is where the dream crashes right into reality. And right here, this is the central conflict. On one side, you've got the huge appeal of the EV dream. I mean, no more gas stations, lower running costs, yes please. But on the other side, you've got the cold, hard reality of the purchase itself. Really high sticker prices, soaring interest rates, and for a lot of people, still being in debt on their current car. Let's just break down these barriers for a second. The average price of any new car is already high, and EVs are often even higher. Getting a loan is way more expensive than it's been in years. And if you're looking for an affordable new EV, your options are still, frankly, pretty limited. The desire is there for so many people, but the math just doesn't work.
So, what can you actually do if you're still determined? Well, there are a couple of paths. The used EV market is getting more interesting for sure. A ton of cars are coming off their leases, which is helping to keep prices down. And there are some affordable new options out there like the Leaf and the Bolt, but you have to be able to find one and make sure their specs actually work for your life. These are basically workarounds, not a real solution for everybody.
And all of this leaves us with the central question, really. We know exactly what sparks the interest every single time gas prices go crazy. But what is it going to take to finally bridge that massive gap between wanting an EV and actually buying one? Is the answer lower prices, cheaper loans, more government help, or something else entirely?
It's this complex dance between emotion and economics that every single car buyer has to figure out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this gives you a clearer picture of all the forces at play the next time you find yourself standing at the pump.